Welcome back to the Tracy Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day, it's another dollar, and it's another hot mess express on Love After Lockup. My loves, let's get down to this dirt. First off, we're going to talk about the Gigi and the Moon Milk, okay? Finally, it is release day. And apparently, Gigi didn't want to let her mama be there, which is fair enough. But black mothers, if she's gonna say, you know what, I don't care about your little boundary. She showed up, my loves. Mama Gigi showed up in a whole, on top of a whole entire horse. Yes, she did. Mama Gigi is a bird from back in the day. Gigi's dad is a con because Gigi's mom sees herself in Gigi. She said, it's all fantasy. I don't live that life, but the daughter's not trying to hear that. So mom said, you know what, a horse or whatever. I'm going to bring my whole entire horse. I'm not missing this day. I'm going to ride out and see you meet this convict because I got to put my eyes on him. And in the meantime, Moo gets in his little confessional looking high as Cooter Brown, all smug, talking about how he's going to have this poly lifestyle. And I'm like, first off, you just got out of the clink. All right, worry about getting a job first. And then we talk about whatever else you want. But right now, you're dusty. You're dusty armpits. I mean, and then you're high. All right. So, I mean, like, he doesn't talk about any game plans other than getting laid and juggling women. I don't understand that. So, anyway, things are getting a little dicey here because while this release day is happening, Bonita's up here scrambling and she's trying to get some things replaced. Let's just say that she's trying to get some things replaced because, according to her, this wasn't mentioned on the show. Well, it was mentioned on this episode, but I don't think people paid attention too much. She had bills to pay and he had lawyers to pay. And they went through some lawyers, and she's a single mom, and he wanted things just like any other con in the prison. So she had to sell some things because money doesn't grow on trees. So I'm not. You know what? He shouldn't be shocked because he knew that she couldn't afford all of that, and I'm wondering how he was able to afford all of that. So anyway, she is out there. She meets up with this guy. She's trying to buy some bootleg luxury items to replace the things she sold before he noticed it. But I don't think you could replace Louis Vuitton from the trunk of a Honda Civic. He's going to notice. He's going to notice the fakery. And while she is out there doing all of this stuff, the kicker is Mama Moo has taken all that stuff out of the storage unit, put it in another storage unit. So he gonna see everything. He's seeing everything right as she's trying to buy stuff. And so I don't know. She's out here scrambling anyway, and the mama's playing switcheroo. And he gonna find out because I think he's gonna clock the fake stuff. So I don't know why she's even bothering trying to replace some dupes with the real stuff. Anyway, we're gonna move on to Kirsten and Brady. Now, this chick was acting like a hoe in heat. She was just going too much, talking about her husband. Mind you, you just scooped this guy up. Yeah, and met him and married him in the pokey. You scooped him up real soon. No time to build a relationship because you just got out of one and you were pregnant with this man's dude. Who knows? You might have been pregnant with Brady's kid because I don't know. You just moved too fast. She's another bird. So anyway, she was mad because she was stressing because she may not get any, pound town with this man. And she out here on the road and she just know it was going to get down like that. But you know what? The pokey is named the pokey for a reason. They are not on anybody's schedule, Kirsten. So right now the clock is ticking. And every time it ticks, it means less time to get down with the get down. So she's stressing, but her prayers are answered. And they head over to the motel, just like they all do. Again, No shower, just prison stench and nasty asses. That's all. That's all. Now, moving on to Dia and Cyrus. Okay. This is a brand new couple, brand new blood and everything, my loves. This is terrible. This is an absolute circus. I'm gonna take my time on this one. Ghetto drama. This is top tier delusions. This woman has went to a couple of multiple jailbirds. This story reminds me of Zaria and Troy's storyline because, well, let me just back up. Okay, here's her little stats. Dia is a mother of 4 children. All right, she had her first baby at 16. She married a high school sweetheart. And she gave that man a whole 20 years of her life just for him to check out, do drugs, and cheat. But wait, we're going to find out who the kicker is, the broad he cheated on her with. We will get to that in a second. So her ex-husband cheated with the town whore. All right, and I'm going to tell you some more. She leaves this man. She gets with an ex-con named Jaden. He's 24. And she tells Jaden, I'm going to give you the starter kit to a perfect life. And we all know what the starter kit to a perfect life in terms of love after lockup, love during lockup, and life after lockup. The starter kit is a bird with a gaggle of kids who all going to call him daddy. And this con's going to be able to rest under, have a head, somewhere to rest his head under. That's it. He's going to get a wife, a gaggle of kids, in a crib to rest under. But that's the starter kit. I'm going to name it the starter kit. But surprise, Jaden wasn't who he pretended to be. This man was 24. He has oats to sow. Oats to sow. He don't want that broke down starter kit. So he goes and cheats on her too. And loves. When I tell you the ghetto universe is small, he cheated on her with the exact same town hoe that her ex-husband slept with. The same exact one. My loves, you cannot make this up. They are sharing the same community. Peen now, and now they're sharing the same coochie. They are. All of them. Now. So Dia, she dumps Jaden. She dumps her ex-husband. Now she dumping Jaden. And somehow Jaden's his ex-cellmate, shoots a shot at Dia. His name is Cyrus. So Cyrus shoots his shot. And Dia's like, sure, why not? Why not? So now she's dating the ex-cellmate named Cyrus. Now she has not met this man in person. Okay? Because the pokey won't let any old trollop run up in there. They have to be at least dating for a year before she can roll up in there. Just saying. So in the meantime, the ex-con, the other 24-year-old, was kind of mad that she wasn't going to take him back because she moved on with Cyrus. Now, gets a little wacky for the family. I mean, you just running through cons like tissue paper, dear. The mamas had to break it down to her because this is total madness. She told her daughter, Dia, he's a young man, he's in the clink, and you haven't even laid eyes on him. You better make sure that boy doesn't have any STD before you go jumping into his bunk. And her poor kids, they are stressed out, child. They are stressed to the max. They're saying when she around these dudes, she ain't thinking about them. No, they get less time. They won't have any time, out of fact. And then her oldest child is the real adult in the house. She's sweating out here because she's going to have to pick up the pieces because her mom has arrested development because she didn't get finished developing when she was a teenager. So, and then she went 20 years being a single mom, locked down her youth, and now she's going to try to relive it. Okay? She's trying to do it over. In the meantime, everybody got to pick up the pieces. It's a mess and a tragedy. She's not looking back at any of this stuff. Now we have next on the docket, we got Kayleigh and Michael. Now first, Michael gets a hall pass from the halfway house. Him and his wife, Kayleigh, they knock the boots. And, now he's time to go shopping. He says, let's get up and go shopping. They go to the butcher shop. And oh my gosh, they get to the register. And we have seen this register fail Kayleigh before, and it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. The card gets declined again, and this time the owner of the card is right there. It's Michael's card, and she's paying everything with his card. And he flips his lid when she pulls out another one, and it's declined too. And he finds out she hasn't made a payment in months. And he said he only allowed her to use the card for gas to bring up his credit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, she's sitting there like trying to look sad, or she had a little more like a smirk on her face. But she says times got hard. She's a single mom and a prison wife, and it ain't cheap being a prison wife. She says she sent him $700 a month. And if you do the math, it's not going to come up to $42,000, which she said she's in debt. But I believe she spent a lot of money. You know, she went down to Mexico and got bootleg surgery, but she also bought nice clothes for this man. And her mama had to pay for, actually. So I don't even know. Well, her and her mama paid the clothes, all right, because she kind of runs short of the cash. And he's trying to blame it on her. But I'm like, and a lot of people online trying to blame it on her, but I'm like, hold your horses. Something ain't right. Why are we dragging Kayleigh? Because first off, Michael is just as dirty. So, and then he's dumb. So why are you going to open up a line of credit, and while you on lockdown, have someone else raise it up for you, and you get out and you dandy. And you don't have no control over that thing. And the whole time, you begging her to buy you stuff, give you money, and you got a whole secret cash of $19,000, a whole secret cash. My loves, he thought he was going to get over on her. And he wanted her to have perfect credit when he's just draining her dry while he's going to get good credit. Because right now he's living with his mama and they're not together. He claims, I got good credit. I'm not, well, he said he's not in debt. He's not in debt. And because he's living with his mama now, they broke up. But anyway, you sitting on $19,000 and you didn't give her a single dime. How dare he? And you know what? She did something to him. She gave some of his medicine, gave a teaspoon, a cup of his own medicine. So my loves, they are both scammers. They are both scammers. And for once, we don't have the woman on the sidelines crying because a man drained her dry. This is a single mom. I'm glad. Yeah, you know what? I ain't mad at it. So moving on. Next on the docket, we have Felicia and Rich. All right. Now, Rich is a man of very few words. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to build a connection. All he wants to do is take a trip down to Pound Town. Now, he goes on and plops down $500 for a nice hotel room, thinking that's a down payment on some coochie. But honey, Felicia gets into that room and tells him he needs to slow his roll because she's not ready to sleep with him yet. And some people are like, wait, girl, you saw him put $500 down and blah, blah, blah. But this is a girl who was locked up at 17, spent 9 years. Everything is sensory overload to her. She's out in the world. Everything is running, cameras in her face, everything. She needs to take a pause. And that's what she did. And this little dusty man, I'm surprised he didn't flip out. I know he was pissed. And I'm surprised he didn't say he was taken advantage of, because that's what he was trying to do to her. Because she just got a clink and she said, I don't feel comfortable. I haven't been around you enough yet. And don't think that he mad because he done spent some $500 for some nookie. You know, the delusion is real that he gonna think he gonna get some pure girl. Pure. Like he thinks she's pure just because she spent 9 years in the pokey. But he thought this was all going to work out in his benefit. But the story gets better because reality comes crashing down on Rich's little fantasy. Felicia gets her release papers, and turns out she has to stay with the aunt. And Rich is still out here trying to finesse his way into that hotel bed. But the aunt, she's hip to game, and she puts the brakes on that whole operation. She says, not under my watch. Nope. And so she just stops the hotel hookup. And Rich is only there for a couple of days. I'm like, well, shoot, you don't want to be around her enough. You just got a couple of days. I want to hit it and quit it. And then come back and, take her on with me. But the aunt says deuces. Once that 6 months is up, when she has to stay with me, you're not taking her out of state. So she's protecting her niece from this interstate finesse. I mean, I can't make it up at all. He wanted a return on his investment. He was down on getting that return. But you know what? He had to spend another lonely night in that hotel because she wouldn't let her niece run off with this fool again. Not after the orders were there that she had to be under her aunt's roof. So, I mean, do you think he was wrong for expecting, some sexy time for this time he spent with her on the phone? He didn't even bring her a damn gift. I mean, you got to work harder than that. I mean, come on now. And I don't know. I'm not feeling Rich. I have a good suspicion of what he probably doing. He probably will take her out, take her for a spin in the bed. And you know what? Man was arrested for prostitution, not selling his body, but directing men to women. Okay? So he might be trying to, maybe, I don't know, allegedly maybe trying to do the same with her. But first, he wants to take a spin on it first. He want to get a little taste of sample the product. But I'm glad everybody from the aunt down to Felicia were not buying his game. So, my loves, what do you guys think about that? That was a lot. Allegedly, I think he kind of, and I think Rich actually had a better relationship, well, not relationship, showed better chemistry with this girl's friend, with Felicia's friend. I think he just want to just get women any way he can because he knew her friend was a convict too. So he think he getting some vulnerable chicks and putting them out in the street. I don't know. I just got, my mind, inquiring mind, allegedly. This is what I suspect. I don't know, my loves, but I'm going to end it right here. That was a lot to talk about. What do you guys think? Drop a line below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. You're not going to get this commentary anywhere else, my loves. So, also, hype the video, share and like. And I'm going to catch you guys all out on the flip side. So just drop a line below and we're going to keep this party going.